Welcome to Broadway's Calling, where we find out where your favorite Broadway stars were when they first got the call to be on Broadway. Now, it only happens once, but we're here to get that story. Today's guest has had a career on Broadway, film, television, and has been doing it ever since that he was a child. He has appeared in some of the plays and musicals from the Golden Age and has been etched in cinematic history in one of the largest grossing film musicals in history. I'm talking Barry Pearl, y'all. I can't wait to ask him about performing with the great Dick Van Dyke and Cheetah Rivera, Georgia Brown, the Monkees, Davy Jones, and he is most known for a show that he appeared on in the national tour of, but got to soar across the screen 44 years ago as Duty in the movie Grease. Now, if you're new to our show, welcome, and please click subscribe. We want tons of subscribers, y'all. We would love to know that there are more fans of Broadway entertainment out there. And if you get busy, just click that bell. You know, you got to click that bell. Click that bell. Oh, no, we need more of like a 60s click that bell song. Banana, click that bell. Banana, click that bell. Come on, click that bell. Click, click, click that bell. Boom, 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 boom. Ow. It's like we've been doing the show almost a year. There's almost a year of Click That Bell songs. One day I'll just like cobble them all together. It'll be crazy, I'm sure. Well, if you click the bell, that way YouTube will alert you when we have a new episode so you won't miss anything. Now, our show is live, as you can tell, and anything can happen. So hold on until the end. And now, if something does happen with me and my guests, and it's crazy, it's the internet, y'all. Share it all over the place. It's my fault that we want to do it live, so we just got to show it. So I used to say I'll fall off my stool, but I'm not sitting on a stool. I'm on my couch now, you know, because I'm lounging with my friends here, you know, on a summer Sunday. But if we have any kind of technical thing, our tech producer, Julie Garnier, is 3,000 miles away. But through this platform that we have here, she's able to like dial in and fix everything. So it's really, really great. And if you don't know her, here's Julie Garnier.
Hi.
Hello. If you don't know her, now you do. If you don't know her, now you do. That's Julie Garnier today. Don't. I got a song.
I got my own song. I'm so excited. That was my first Broadway's Calling song. Thank you.
You got a song.
I expect one every week now. Just saying, like the bar has been set.
Oh dear.
Bar has been set.
I don't know. It's like all I have going through my head is, you know, You're the One That I Want, and all of the Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta songs are going through my head. It's like there's such like cultural phenomenons and been part of all of our lives. Everyone that I've been speaking to this week, you know, it's like, oh, Barry Pearl. And they're like, oh, Olivia Newton-John, John Travolta, Grease. Everyone has a Grease story or John Travolta story or Olivia Newton-John story. So I would love it. Do you have one?
Well, I mean, my high school did Grease and I auditioned and I didn't get it. but I do have an Olivia Newton-John story, which is kind of fun. So
what happened?
I went to Catholic school, and in the second grade, we had show and tell. And for show and tell, I decided I wanted to sing for my class. Mm-hmm. So I did my own version of Olivia Newton-John's Let's Get Physical video. You know how she did it with like the aerobics and the working out? I thought it was a working out video. I didn't know that it was like overtly sexual, and and my teacher was a nun, and I almost got suspended.
Oh my goodness.
I got in really big trouble, and I didn't know that it was not supposed to be done.
Oh
like I didn't realize what it was actually about.
I mean, well, what's interesting is that the nun knew it wasn't about working out.
The adults knew. The adults knew. It was us children that had no idea that she wasn't just doing a Jane Fonda video. That it was like
Well, I
Yeah.
wonder if our very own Broadway Bites, Andre Boyer, if she's been inspired by Grease at all. And I know Andrea is here. Andrea, pop on in.
Hello.
Hello. Well, okay, I'll give you a song too. Andrea Boyer is here today. Andrea Boyer is here to slay. Bum bum.
I love it. I expect that one too. Just like
Oh
you.
man.
Oh, well, really quick before I share my little Grease inspired dessert,
Mhm.
I mean, who did not own a pair of those candies shoes that Olivia Newton-John wore at the end? Right, that she
See?
put on. I think I have 2 pair.
Wow.
And maybe in my break here a little bit, I'm going to go dig for them in my closet. 'Cause
Uh-oh.
I still have them.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see that. Wait, you don't have do you have the black spandex pants though?
Oh,
I mean,
maybe.
Uh-oh.
I've always wanted you to redo that little cigarette scene with the candy shoe.
Well, what Grease inspired dessert did you come up
Oh
with?
my gosh. Well, it is a 1950s Grease inspired dessert
Mhm.
because it's getting close to summer, it's getting hot, and
Mhm.
and because Grease is the word.
Well, I knew that one of us had to say it.
oh, wait, wasn't Barry also one of the genies with you in Aladdin?
Oh, yes, absolutely. He sure was.
Oh my! As a regular of like going to Disneyland all the time, I'm sure I saw him like 1 or 100 times.
Wait, Andrea, you'll never believe it, but Barry actually found a clip from almost 20 years ago
Oh my
with
God.
both of us in the show, and I think Julie has that.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Everybody who's got 3 wishes coming to them, raise their hand. Oops, it looks like it's only me. Genie, my first wish is to rule the kingdom. Make me the Sultan. Poof, you're the Sultan. We're all very impressed. If your last name was Fig Newton, you'd be Jafar Fig Newton. Or if you were a nursery rhyme, you'd be Jafarmer in the Dell, Jafar. And as the Sultan, if it was vinegar chips, you'd be Sultan Vinegar Chips. That's about Jafar as I'm going to go. No, we're just getting started. But perhaps merely being the Sultan isn't enough. For my second wish, I want you to make me the most powerful sorcerer on earth. How do you like your Sultan now, my Chesed Blossom? Together we shall be unstoppable.
My goodness, it's so crazy, to see me in my evil Jafar mode, and of course, it's still impossible not to say the words along. But something you have to know: all of our genies, they got to make up their own jokes. So, like Barry made up those jokes. So I never knew what they were going to say each show. It's like they would change them, and sometimes there would be like new cultural references that they would stick in there. So I'm so glad that someone caught that and Barry sent that to us. That is so much fun. I can't wait till he gets out here.
Well, I think that we should get on and have a great show.
All right.
Well, I'm out of here like Grease lightning.
Oh no, Andrea, that's 2. That's 2.
Okay, well, I'm hopelessly devoted to you getting Barry out here.
Oh man. Okay, my turn. Barry's the one that I want to see. Ooh, 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 honey.
All right.
Can we keep going?
It's horrible. No, I think we're done.
Oh well, we'll see you all later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
All right. Well, now that you've seen and heard some of our like 50 sayings and things from Greece, it's time to go back to the 50s by the way of summer of 1978. Now, Grease, the movie musical, opened in June of 1978. And I got to tell you, I mean, I remember we all wanted to be greasers. I actually had hair then, so I could have done it. And if you're near my age, you were smack in the middle of your teens. And I had just gotten a job at Opryland down in Nashville. And I was working with like Sam Harris, who would eventually play Judy on Broadway, as well as Vicki Lewis and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, Cynthia Rhodes, just to name a few. So many talented performers at Opryland. But a bunch of us went and saw the film Grease at a drive-in. So sit back and let's celebrate summer with Barry Pearl in Grease.
This is the main brain, Vince Fontaine, beginning your day with the only way. Music, music, music. Get out of bed, it's the first day of school. Don't be a slob, don't get a job, go back to class, you can pass. And to start the day off nice and fine, I'm gonna play a new old favorite of mine. I found my problems and I see the light. We got a loving thing, we gotta feed it right. There ain't no danger we can go too far. We start believing now that we can be who we are. Grease is the word. Do a split, give a yell, shake the tip, roll right down.
Guys, be cool, huh?
They think our love is just a growing pain. Why don't they understand? It's just a crying shame. Their lips are lying, only real is real. We stop the fight right now. We got to be what we feel. Grease is the word. It's got a groove, it's got a meaning. Grease is the time, it's the place, it's the motion. Grease is the way we are feeling.
It's like a beautiful blonde pineapple.
Ladies and gentlemen, Broadway's calling Barry Pearl.
Hello?
Hello, Duty.
Hello, Lancy?
How you doing?
Doing good, Lance. It's so good to see your lovely face.
Great to see you. I mean, how was your pandemic?
Oh, my pandemic was got a little COVID.
Did you get it?
But I'm vaxxed. I'm vaccinated, so I'm not wearing a mask today. Is that okay?
Yes, same here. I'm fully vaxxed,
Okay.
and no mask here. That's the one good thing about the internet. It's like, I think I heard like colds and flus were all down because we're all still sort of isolated. There's like good and bad about this whole situation. It's like we don't get to see each other, but we can see people that we normally wouldn't see because you're on one coast, I'm on the other coast, and we're hanging out here.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Here we are, but maybe this is not Zoom. Not only are we on Facebook Live and YouTube over on our channel, but we actually like use a platform called StreamYard to get out there so we can do like fancy things, So it's like Zoom, they're okay, but this is like next level and it's so exciting. And Julie is our tech wizard and she sort of, helps us with it and manipulates, and we do like fun things. And so I'm always looking forward to every week to see, what she's going to do with our guests and, how we do the videos and all the things that I've been researching. And boy, have I found some good things about you, mister.
God, it's going to come back to haunt me. Let me just say something. That video that you played,
yeah.
Lovely. You know who put that together? Actually, it was put together. I had this person put it together for me for my nephew was doing a no-kill animal shelter benefit back in New Jersey a bunch of years ago. And he asked me to put together a show. And I brought Shanana in to Jersey and myself, and we did a cabaret.
Oh,
and
wow.
I needed an intro video. David Engel put that together.
That's why it's so good. Oh, he's so good with his editing.
terrific. So
Oh,
he
it's so
that put that together. So I want to
Oh
shout
my
out to David.
Well, this is great because it's like, I had mentioned earlier that you were part of some golden age musicals and, of course, like Grease, the film. But I mean, how does like a kid, because it's not like you were like in college and hit Broadway. You were a kid from Pennsylvania and you ended up on Broadway. How did that happen?
It literally happened overnight.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back before that. I was very active in community theater back in my hometown of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
My mother, may she rest in peace, she saw that I had talent. So did my Aunt Rose, who was kind of my other parent, and my other aunts, Frida and Aunt Mim. They all saw that I had a special thing. So my mom enrolled me in a tap dancing class, Miriam Menser's tap dance school. Yeah, Miriam Menser on Prince Street.
I love it.
And me and this little girl, Maxine Gilman, we were the smallest and youngest kids in the class. And at the end of the year, they would do a review at the Millersville State Teachers College. And we, Maxine and myself, were all, the show was always centered around us. So that kind of was the bug that bit me. From that, my mom got me involved in the community theater, Lancaster Little Theater. And I did a couple of plays there. And eventually in 1959, I did a production. And this is after, by the way, I guess I had done a production of Dark at the Top of the, beg your pardon, of Tall Story and Richard III with Roy Scheider, the late Jaws, Roy.
Yeah.
At the Green Room Theater of Franklin and Marshall College. It was a medical school, but they also had a theater program, a pretty well-known theater program. So I did some things there. But then in 59, I did a production of Dark at the Top of the Stairs at the Fulton Opera House, which is now the Fulton Theater.
Right.
One of the oldest in the country.
Right, yeah.
Booths worked there. Edwin and John Wilkes, as far as I know.
Wow.
I did this production, and there was an aspiring playwright from New York by the name of Chuck Miller, who, to pay the rent, because he was an aspiring playwright, took a job running lights for that production and took a liking to me and my mom. And he told my mom, Sarah, one day I'm going to get your boy on Broadway. Well, 2 years later, he had become friendly with this fellow Bob Fagan, who was the secretary of the man who produced Bye Bye Birdie, Edward Padula. And Johnny Borden, who originated the role of Randolph, was leaving to do Milk and Honey with Molly Pecan. And that opened up the role. And Chuck told Bob, who told Edward Padula, I got the kid for you. Called my mom.
Yeah.
Sometime late August of 61, and said, bring him into audition. And I thought, when my mom came down I was down at the farm, my cousin's farm, my aunt and uncle's farm, and she came down and said, we're going to go to New York. You're going to be on Broadway. Now, I hadn't auditioned yet.
Right.
It was for an audition, but I didn't know from auditioning. Even back in Pennsylvania, I just read the script. I got the gig. Right. There's no competition. Boom. So with power of positive thinking, took a train into New York. Chuck took me down to the basement of the Lambs Club.
Wow, 44th Street. Yeah.
44th Street. And with a pianist, taught me there's no business like show business. The only song I knew. The following day, I had the audition at the Schubert Theater, and there were like 250 kids that auditioned for this thing. Got in there, and Margin Gower Champion, may they rest in peace, were in the room. And I didn't know who they were at the time, but you know, in retrospect, of course. They said, you have something else to sing, and I didn't. They said, sing Happy Birthday. So I sang Happy Birthday. Next thing you know, I got the gig. I went to work the following day.
Wait, when did they actually tell you had the gig?
Right away. I think I found out right away.
Like you were on the stage of the Schubert Theater?
I don't remember. It had to have happened then right there. I believe it happened right there. If I recall. And so Mom went back home that weekend to pack up, and I went into rehearsal on a Wednesday. They told me that I'd be on that Monday. This is before Mondays were dark. And the curtain was at 8:30. Hence the 11 o'clock number, folks.
Yes, exactly.
So unfortunately, Mom missed my opening because they put me on that Saturday. I was ready by Saturday.
Wow.
Now, understand this, and you had mentioned in the opening that I worked with Dick Van Dyke, though I have a lovely story of having met him. He had left the show, and Gene Rayburn had taken over.
That's, you know what? I was wondering about that because there's actually a playbill on the internet with Gene Rayburn on the cover. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to show the Dick Van Dyke, Cheetah Rivera one. But that's so you were with Gene Rayburn of Match Game. If people, don't remember, but it's still on Netflix. You can watch Match Game.
Yes, you can.
So that's exciting. Well,
And
go ahead.
Gretchen Weiler had replaced Cheetah Rivera.
Wow. That's fantastic. Well, I do have, I found the marquee of the first one, and it just was like amazing. It's just to see the people, and it's like, I think that's the Martin Beck Theater, the now Al Hirschfeld Theater, where Moulin Rouge is playing. That is so exciting. I mean, it's like, you're part of like the theater history, because then you're like part of Bye Bye Birdie, which, I have a quick question, because I saw the 9 performances of the sequel to Bye Bye Birdie, Bring Back Birdie, because my best friend was in it, and I saw it, and that's when we found out that the mother, who didn't like Spanish Rose the whole time, we find out that she's really Spanish herself. Was that part of the original at all?
Oh, no, not at all. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Bring Back Birdie. It was Donald O'Connor, wasn't it? Donald O'Connor?
Yes, Donald O'Connor and Cheetah Rivera reprised her role.
That was never a part of the original story.
Okay. Yeah, well, I wondered about that. Well, because you're part of history, tell me something. Your next Broadway show, were you in the original cast?
Yes.
Well, then we need to know, how did that show come about?
Okay, so first of all, by the way, I think it's fascinating for me is that, that Birdie, when you consider it, was the first rock and roll musical.
Yeah.
So for the bookends, Birdie and Grease, of course, to be what it is. Mm-hmm. Of course, I've done All Shook Up and a whole bunch of different Hairspray, for some reason, they spoke to me, those reasons, or I spoke to them. Who knows? But with regard to Oliver, that's what you're referring to.
Yes, absolutely.
So in they'd already cast Oliver, and in I guess it was by the way, in that you just showed that playbill, I am just off to our left. So I'm just cut out of that picture.
Isn't that the life?
Well, but there's an interesting thing about that too.
Even on this show, this is where really I should be.
Right. You're right. So good. So anyhow, I had auditioned for Oliver in the fall of '62, but I had a broken arm. I had fallen off my cousin Shetland and broke a double fracture of my arm, and I didn't get the gig. I think this might have been when they were first auditioning for pre-Broadway.
Okay.
So later that year, I guess it must have been sometime in early December, I had auditioned for the tour of Camelot with Arthur Treacher and what's his name, who played King Arthur? Because I think Treacher played Pellinor, and it was not Louis Jourdan, Louis Hayward. Louis Hayward. In any event, I auditioned for it.
You stumped me finally.
You'll look it up and see.
Yeah.
I auditioned for the role of Tom, the little boy that comes in at the very end, and I got the gig. And the day that I was supposed to get down and sign contracts to go out on the road to do Camelot, I got another audition for Oliver for a replacement. And well, basically this is a bird in the hand to Camelot. What do you want to do that? Well, it's coming back into New York. Doesn't it make sense? So I auditioned for Oliver and got that gig.
Oh my goodness.
So I went out on the road, and they were in Toronto at the time. Oh no, they were in Detroit at the time. And I replaced. There were 2 guys that were being replaced, Joey Kennedy and Greg Weir. And I went in with a kid by the name of Scott George. And this was when Michael Goodman was playing the Dodger, the original Dodger, who is on the album. Oh. And by the way, the album was struck when the show was in Los Angeles, pre-Broadway.
Wow.
Now, that CD has my name on it, along with a couple of the other guys who were actually pictured in that playbill. We're not on the CD, but we're on the CD in the cover art.
Wow.
as singing on the scene, but we because we were in the original Broadway cast.
Uh-huh.
There. Now this
Wait,
you see, I'm
Wait, which one are you? Is that you on the bottom right?
bottom right, and then right next to me, our left, that's Paul O'Keefe, who played Patty Duke's brother in the Patty Duke Show.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And he was a replacement too. This was long after we were already in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I got to, I was there before Davy Jones. They brought Davy in when we went to Toronto.
Now, hold on. So just for our young people, Davy Jones is in reruns as one of the monkeys, which you're like, what are the monkeys? The Monkees was a TV show based on the Beatles. What are the Beatles? Anyway, I can't talk to you.
Yeah. And, well, then I guess my story about screen testing for the Monkees wouldn't mean anything, huh?
They were like, no one's gonna know. They're like, it's like, there's so many young people who watch. There are people, who are boomers who, of course, know the Monkees. The Last Train to Clarksville, if you know that song.
I'll meet you at the station. Well, I'll be there by 4:30. I'll make a reservation, don't you know? But that was free, by the way. You don't have to pay me for that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but we got to pay the people who wrote it. Thanks, Barry.
For free. Sorry about that. but I actually did screen test for the Monkees.
Oh, wow. That's great. I'm sure. I mean, it's like, the kids, you're a talented Broadway kid. There you are in Oliver and replacing and everything. But they all weren't hits.
No.
Because I also know that you were in it was part of flop history on Broadway, where up until Spider-Man, you were in a show that had the longest preview period. And how long did you guys?
We ran 90 previews at the Anta Theater. We didn't do a tour. We stayed at the Anta. They were rewriting the show every single night. 90 previews, opened and closed.
On the same night, and that was with the great comedian Jackie Mason, right?
Mason, I love Jackie.
I found a playbill with it, and that I guess they had them that one night, and I think you're in this picture.
Yeah, that's me, right there, right in. I'm next to Lee Meredith, who was the original Ula in the movie The Original Producers, Bialystok and Bloom.
Oh, wow!
And there is Marilyn Cooper.
Yes.
To the right, right next to Bernie West with the glasses. That's
wow.
And
Jackie Mason in the front, of course. I just want to show, because before we go on, we have so many stories, but we have some great fans here, and I just want to say, Blockheads Brazil, hello, we see you. Carla says that Grease is the best movie ever, and I'm not going to fight you on that, Carla, because I love it. Hey, Chris Jones, who loved the Monkees, and we were in Aladdin with Chris Jones. Good to see you. And James Edward, hello from Chicago, and I think James Edward was even in when you did Cheers in Chicago. He was one of the patrons in the bar. Yes. Hey, Jeffrey Schechter.
Shecky's here.
Yes, Shecky, a Broadway veteran, and also lived out in Los Angeles. Also, there's some great people. I'm trying to scroll through. I don't want to miss people. Monica Mendoza says, amazing to see Barry Pearl. Regards. And then, there's Monica. These are great. Oh, Sean Lewis, who I know was a big Aladdin fan. Very nice. Thank you, Sean Lewis, who says, very lucky to see you both in Aladdin back at Disney. And then there's Johnny Tomorrow.
Johnny Tomorrow. I just saw Johnny Tomorrow on Facebook. Hey, Johnny Tomorrow.
Oh, I love it. These are so great. Joanne says, oh my God, loved him in Grease. I'm starting to find them all, you guys. It's like, my eyes are starting to focus in. It's like so many comments. Keep them coming because I know that Mr. Barry Pearl has so many stories.
Can we see them? Can we see those afterwards? Do they get archived, or
Yes.
I'd be able to actually respond to people?
Yes, I will save them all and get them
Good.
to you.
Good.
We try and save them because sometimes I even use them. I choose certain people and I use their quotes in some of our ads throughout the week
Right.
because that's sort of fun. These all to have people, they become, the new Clive Barnes and they get quoted. So that's always fun. And for those of you out there, just know that we're live today, but the show plays on youtube.com/Broadway's Calling in perpetuity. They say the internet is forever. So it is. So you can go back and listen to these stories and you can hear Barry Pearl sing The Last Train to Clarksville on repeat if you like. And it's so great to have you here, Barry. And I really we do this feature called Broadway Bites where we haven't been able to go to restaurants yet, but New York is about to open up. And Andrea, who does our Broadway Bites section, is out in California. And, hopefully she'll be here and we will be able to do this. But Andrea has gotten into her time machine and her saddle shoes and her varsity jacket. And she takes us back to the malt shop with a delicious Grease-inspired recipe. Check, this is for you, Barry.
Let's all go to the lobby. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh, man. We're here with Barry Pearl, Duty from Grease, and also part of the golden age of Broadway musicals with Bye Bye Birdie and, of course, Oliver. Now, if you're enjoying, hearing all these stories about Grease and Broadway and flops on Broadway, hits on Broadway, just share the episode. Tell all your friends. Tell them to come on over here and talk. And before we go on, I just noticed that, Barry, you had a couple of other messages. And then I want to talk about that malted milkshake. It's just like, oh my God. Okay. Mark A wants to know from Barry, and you'll know this, how was working with Dennis Stewart and Annette Charles in Grease?
You know that Dennis was on a sad note, our first casualty. Dennis passed. And Annette
Cardona,
she passed away. In fact, we found out about Annette's going into the hospital on the night that John Travolta had all of us to a memorial dinner for Jeff Conaway, who had passed away.
Right.
Around this time of year, by the way, like a couple of days from now, it'll be 2011. What's how it goes?
10 years. Yeah.
And then shortly after that, Annette passed away. Well, they were wonderful. I mean, especially Dennis. You know, Dennis played the head of the Scorpions, the bad guy, Crater. He was 180 degrees away from that character.
Wow.
He was such a sweetheart, such a big heart, and what a loss. A delight to work with. You know, it was a labor of love, Lance. We all got along so well. To have lost Annette at that young age, too, so vibrant and so full of life.
Who was Cha-Cha Gregorio.
Great Cha-Cha, exactly.
Yeah. And, go ahead.
Just that she was a delightful person, a beautiful individual, and to lose both of them were, just huge tragedies in our lives.
And I was friends with Annette as well, and she's just a beautiful, great singer as well. Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of people, they know her as a great dancer on film, but she was an Aldonza,
I can imagine. That was her big thing. And she had just gotten her, I think. She just started a bit. She was a counselor. She became a counselor. And so she had just gotten her office together and all that. And then this lung cancer, I think, is what.
Yeah.
That's what.
Oh, man. Well, it's amazing how you were talking about how it was a labor of love. And I know that many of you are still friends, after 44 years. But I wanted to know, because, of course, John Travolta had actually been in the musical of Grease, but I assumed that he had played Danny Zuko, but he played your part.
Well, here he played Duty, but here's the interesting thing. The Duty that I play in the movie is not the Duty from the play.
Right.
So the way it matched up was this. I am really playing Sonny, the role of Sonny.
Oh, okay.
Michael Tucci, who plays Sonny, is really playing Roger. Putsy, played by Kelly Ward in the movie, is really doing Duty. Because Duty was handling the wide-eyed, 15 minutes, is that all it said?
Right.
I mean, that was Duty. And Sonny was the fast talker, clown, sharp, and Roger was this round guy who would moon. In fact, he had the best song in the show, in the stage play, Mooning is my favorite.
Yeah.
You know Ray DeMatteis, yeah?
I don't, but I know him, of course.
You know who he is. Yeah. Ray played our Roger and sang the heck out of Mooning. He was just on the road, the first national tour. He was the best Roger. And there have been some great Rogers that I've worked with and directed, by the way, I must say, because I've directed a couple of times. But so it got all mashed up. But John as Duty, and I've got some wonderful slides. I'm sorry I couldn't put that together of him as Duty. It's just spectacular. And his magic changes could not be beat.
Oh, I bet. Well, you were talking about how really you were playing Sonny, who was the wiseacre. And we have this extra video of a scene of you and John Travolta and Michael Tucci.
Yes.
Doing a great scene with the phenomenal Miss Brooks, Eve Arden. Yes. And I would love to jump and just show you that scene from the movie if everyone remembers this.
Jeez, every teacher I got this year has flunked me at least once.
If you don't watch it, you're gonna be spending all your time in McGee's office.
Yeah, well, this year she's gonna wish she's never seen me.
Oh, yeah? And what are you gonna do?
I just ain't gonna take any of her crap, that's all. I don't take no crap from nobody.
Sonny?
Oh, hello, ma'am.
Aren't you supposed to be in homeroom right now?
I was just going for a walk.
You were just dawdling, weren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
That is no way to start a new semester, Mr. Lattieri.
Fanabolo tutta buttana.
Perhaps a session of banging erasers after school would put you on the right track.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you just going to stand there all day?
No, ma'am. I mean, yes, ma'am. I mean, I'm
Well,
just,
which is it, yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Good, then move.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I'm sure glad you didn't take any of her crap, Sonny. You would have really told her off, huh?
Mr. Lafayette, yes, ma'am.
Now, you see, those are Sonny's lines from the play. Those are Sonny's lines from the play.
Uh-huh.
So that whole moment, he was doing Sonny. He wasn't doing Roger. He was doing Sonny. And I don't know who I was doing. I might have been doing, I don't know, well, Kinnicky was there. I might have been doing Roger at the time.
Wow. So it's all messed up. It's someone mentioned, I guess they're doing a similar thing with the roles in the West Side Story, where they're like mixing up some of the characters in the lines, you know, from the same era. So yeah, I guess they can just mess with the 50s and the 60s, I guess. But I'm so glad. Don't mess with a milkshake, because I still have to talk. I was looking, that milkshake looks so good, and I love malted milk so much. And I just say, everyone, I hope you have a great milkshake in the summertime, because it's fantastic. But now, Barry, you're looking at the clips of you guys as teenagers, and now most of you were in your 20s.
I was 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, you're the same age of like Ben Platt is 27, and he's playing a 17-year-old guy, and everyone, the internet went crazy. There he is, which I think he does look 17 in it. It's like, you know, but I mean, what do you think about that? About like, you know,
well, you know, I've actually always wanted to do a production, to direct a production with real, with
kids,
teenagers, with teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm okay with it. I'm able to suspend my disbelief. I don't have a problem as long as they look that age. And we looked that age. I mean, Stockard looked older. Michael was older and looked a little older. I think we got away with it, and I also think that many overlooked it. I think there's a certain wisdom that comes with being older, playing a younger role.
Right.
But then that being said, there's some pretty incredible teens who are very old and wise.
Yes.
Soul.
Yeah.
So I just have never had a problem with it. You know, I have some problems with some of the other changing of, you know, rewriting history. I mean, you know, but people would get on us about the fact that there were no people of color represented in the play or in the movie. Now that has changed through the years. I did it with Sabrina Sloan, played Frenchie in a production that I did. Jordan Fisher, of course, played Duty. He's a person of color in Grease Live. So, you know, where I begin to have I'm not crazy about the notion of Judd being a black man, but that's me. You know, times they are a changing, and you know, this train's passing me by now. You know, take it; it's all yours. Do what you want.
Although I'll tell you a little trivia about Judd as a black man. Originally, Rodgers and Hammerstein, the farmers were going to be black, and the cowboys were going to be white, because it represented what was happening in Oklahoma at the time. Because once the black people became free, they moved to Oklahoma. And so they were like intruding into that space. And Judd was going to be either mixed race or Native American originally. So if they sort of go that way, it does, even though he's the bad guy, that was like the creator's original intention to a certain extent. So I had heard that, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But apparently the reason why they didn't go black and white for the original in 1947, because they thought it was too on the nose for a story which was ultimately about being tolerant, that's what the farmer and the cowman should be friends is about. And so that's why they did that. If I actually saw some old pictures from the 1947, the cast actually was still integrated, though.
Really? It was integrated?
Yes, at the St. James Theater, I saw a picture with two black people in the ensemble. I was like, what? I saw that picture. I have to find that picture again because I was blown away by that. I was like, I always thought it was all Caucasian because, by the time it hits the dinner theaters, that's typically what the audiences are. But that wasn't how it was originally on Broadway even. So, I mean, it's like, so don't think that people are adding new things. They might be going back to something that the way it was, but I have heard that about Grease. Even when I was a kid growing up here in New York, Grease was our longest running musical. It had surpassed Fiddler on the Roof. And I remember thinking that it was somebody else's story because, I wasn't up there on the screen. We weren't greasers, we didn't take our hair, but we did conk our hair. It was very, and so I didn't really know where Black people fit into the 1950s. But that would be something to, I think, explore because we do know that the music came from Black people. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so it's
absolutely. And listen,
you can't rock without rolling, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. And Baby It's You covered all that.
Yes,
too.
Exactly.
Speaking of another Broadway show that I was fortunate to be a part of, and that was unfortunate that it only lasted as long as it did because unfortunately the book did not live up to the music and the talent that did that music in that particular show. We had people on their feet in the aisles.
Oh yeah,
every single performance, Lance.
Well,
and
the music was spectacular.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that I did it out in LA.
Yes, I think I did know that.
Okay, so it's like, and I was rare, with talking with those guys, I remembered, knowing that the music was fantastic, especially there's in the second act of Baby It's You, there's this one section that I just thought was just phenomenal, and the direction was great with Sheldon Epps and the way it looked, the physical production was gorgeous, everything was gorgeous, but it's like, now that I've been in New York the last 10 years and I've been in a lot of original shows, there's something about style and tone that I've learned. And that was, I thought, just putting it out there, was like one of the biggest things that I thought was odd with the show was that you had this woman who was the first woman to have her own record studio, but she started singing in the first scene a song that had not been produced by her yet. So it was like, okay, wait a minute. Wait, she's singing Mama Said There'd Be, and I'm like, wait a minute. So it was so confusing. It was like, wait a minute. She hasn't, found that group yet to record that song, but she's singing that. So, the tone and the style was sort of all over the place. And it's like, the intentions were good, showing how whites and blacks get together and have gotten together actually forever. I mean, that's always been a thing, but that particular period, the music that was created was spectacular, and it really was coming together of different cultures, different races, and creating music that has lasted forever. But that show, I think, can be revisited because the story of the Shirelles and what was the woman's name was Flo
Greenberg.
Flo Greenberg, Spectre Records. If you guys want to Google it, she's.
Was Arista? Because Spectre. Maybe it was Spectre.
Yeah, it is Spectre. Yeah,
it was Spectre. That's right. It was. You're right. Because the Spectre was. Yes. I'm thinking it's still Spectre, but yes, exactly.
Yeah. But it's Spectre RE, I think. Maybe I don't remember, but you'll find it. Flo Greenberg, worth Googling. Fantastic trailblazer, in America. And hopefully her story will be told. And Barry, you were a fantastic husband, though.
Thank you. Well, it was interesting because I played the antagonist.
Yes.
Which is fine by me because ultimately I want to get that message out that there are assholes in this world that stand in the way of what my heart really does as Barry Pearl believes. It ain't about me. It's about Greenberg who suppressed and wanted to keep his wife down. You have to have that in order to tell her story. So I totally
Right.
understood my place in it, and I love playing the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. And to play opposite the delicious Beth Level. I mean,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, so great! It's well, you played so many different kinds of roles. Well, you and also one of our original genies in Aladdin, Nick Santa Maria, got to be in the producers, and I found like all these crazy pictures of you in different roles in the producers, and it was like I wrote Barry Pearl, Barry Pearl, Barry Pearl, Barry Pearl.
yeah.
Because and there was a great picture of you as one of the little old ladies, but
Yes.
in order to do that, I couldn't make her big enough. She kept
Yeah.
pixelating. But just know, people, there's a picture out on the internet of Barry Pearl as a little old lady because he can play anything. And to prove it, he even did it. Oh, someone actually asked about your time on Barney. There was someone asked about it in the chat, and I have to find it. Oh, Mark A says, "Yeah, thanks, Julie. What was it like to be a part of the Barney franchise?"
That was one of my most favorite times in front of the camera. It was 1994,
Mhm.
and I went down to Studios of Las Colinas.
Uh-huh.
Played this character, Professor Erasmus Q. Tinkerputt.
Tinkerputt.
An eccentric toy inventor.
Uh-huh.
And we shot it there where Walker, Texas Ranger shot there.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I love that show actually.
And I got to play this character. Jim Rowley was our director, and he just let me fly. I just had a great time. It was a fun group of people, a respectful group of people, a creative group of people, and to work with the kids.
Mhm.
And the message, the "I love you, you love me,"
Right.
that which was poo-pooed, made fun of, really had its place with the kid. The kids adored Barney, and they learned.
And they still do.
They still do. So I got to play this character in an NBC primetime special called Bedtime with Barney, Imagination Island, which is on video. And then 2 years later, they asked me to become part of a live tour. We did 2.5 years of a national and international tour with Barney's Big Surprise, which is also on video.
Wow.
We played arenas all over the country and in the UK and in Mexico and Canada. It was we blew the roof off of these Tacoma Dome and Radio City Music Hall, all these huge venues. Just a spectacular time with that organization. Really.
Oh my! So they're like kids from the '90s are like saying, "Wait a minute, Duty is Tinkerputt?"
That's right. Well, here I'll tell you a story. So we're in. I want to say it was Tacoma, and I was coming out of it was after the show was over. And you had all these 6,000 kids. And there were people that would hang out and want to get autographs and such. And I was walking towards our tour bus, and there was a family of 5 standing there. And the mother had a 3-year-old in her arms, little boy. And as I come walking by, I knew they wanted to say hello. So I stopped and said hello. They had just seen the show, of course. And I said hello to them. And the mother said to the little 3-year-old, "You know who this is?" And he went, "Yeah, Duty." Really? Duty. I just Professor Tinkerputt. He just saw me as
right.
So I love that crossover thing. It just blew me away. He knew me as Duty.
He knew you as Duty. Well, Joe Hart says that he did Irma La Deuce with you at MTG.
That's right.
And apparently you did a cross on stage that whenever he thinks of it, he cracks up.
I don't remember what that cross was, but I'm glad you remember it, Joe. Interesting story here, very quickly. That was the only show that I ever did at MTG. For some reason, persona non grata there, and I've never been able to figure that out. But I finally got a chance to do a show, and Kostroff was playing the Clive Revel role. And I got Clive Revel to come to see the show.
Wow.
And got him backstage, and we all had a chance to talk with him. It was great fun.
Oh, my goodness.
Clive Revel, folks, so that people know, was the original Fagin in Oliver. And so Clive and I had stayed in touch through the years, and I was able to bring him to see the show. And it was just glorious.
Oh man, that's so funny. I mean, talk about it's just so much history you have, and I know people again. It's like the Grease fans are still they're here. They can sing every note, every lyric. And y'all, I'm with you because I had just started college, and man, I was like, I played my Grease album in my little dorm room. I think I had the Grease album, and what's her name? Not Joni Mitchell, the woman who sang Chucky's in Love. Ricky Lee Jones.
Yeah,
Those, for some strange reason, these were my two albums. I don't really know.
So bizarre.
Yes, but I was doing the hand jive, and y'all, I know this isn't TikTok, but I have to revisit my childhood and do the hand jive because we got Barry Pearl, and it's I'm like, I used to go into Olivia Newton-John and her sister. They had a restaurant a clothing store called Koala Blue on Melrose, and I used to go in there. I would see Olivia Newton-John's sister, but I was like, ooh, I hope I see Olivia Newton-John. So this is my chance to actually do the hand jive with somebody from the movie. Now, all of y'all out there, if you know the hand jive, I mean, you can join us because we're going to do it, Barry. That's okay. Sure. It's like, and we can, if people really want to see this, I need to see in the comments, if you want to see Andrea and Julie join me, because they're probably thinking, oh my God, Lance is going to do this, but I think that they should join. So if you want Andrea and Julie, put their names in the chat because it'll make them, we'll go, oh, now you have to do it because your names are in the chat. So, meanwhile, Richard Strip says, hi, Barry.
Hi, Richard. Bless his heart.
Yes. Oh, my God. Uh-oh. All right. James Edwards said, it's on. All right. And Mark A said, not only is he going to do the hand jive, but he's going to do it with malted in hand. I love it. But I tell you, if we can get Julie and Andrea out here, we can actually make it a production number, right?
Yeah.
So, Julie, Andrea, Broadway's calling. Julie and Andrea.
You're insane. You're insane.
This is awesome.
Yes. We're gonna be like, now wait a minute. Now this is 2021, so I'm not gonna say, what you can be. You can be like one of the T-Birds in the gang, or you can be one of the Pink Ladies. Y'all can just choose. What do you want to be, Andrea?
Oh, well, I didn't find my black ones, but
nice.
Yeah. Well,
of course.
So you got to be a Pink Lady. And what about you, Julie?
I'll be a T-Bird.
Atta girl.
I'll be a Pink Lady then.
You'll be a Pink Lady. Yes. Okay. So Barry, why don't you show us one time of the hand jive, and then we'll join you for the last two. So you do it once. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Pearl, Judy from the movie, will be doing hand jive. Hold on to your seatbelts, baby.
Here we go. So it's thigh, thigh, clap, clap, over, under, fist, 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 hitch, hike, then thigh, thigh. Okay, and then you repeat it. Okay. Ready,
yes.
everybody?
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, and thigh, thigh, clap, clap, over, under, fist, 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 hitch, hike, hitch. Again.
This is so cool.
Yeah, let's take it home.
This is the third time, and then the hey afterwards, okay?
Whoa.
Hitch, hike, hitch, hands up!
Oh, yeah!
This is so
Born to hand job, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
unreal.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, y'all, it's a first here on Broadway's Calling. We're giving y'all production numbers, right?
Yes.
I'm telling you,
Master class duty style. Yes,
Master class duty style, y'all. That's what is happening here. This has been so much fun. I just love it. Oh my goodness. Well, what a way to launch into the summer. And hopefully we can all hit a drive-in and maybe see In the Heights this summer and, and learn some new steps. And maybe we'll be doing, the In the Heights steps here later on this summer.
Piragua. I'm down.
It's so good. Well, I mean, Barry, thank you so much for sharing your legendary career. I didn't know if Julie or Andrea had any questions about Grease or Oliver or Bye Bye Birdie. I know you're fans of the musical theater. Any questions, ladies?
I was a huge Jeffrey Conway fan.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. So can you tell me like maybe some fun things that happened with him on set or when you worked with him? Because he was just brilliant.
Jeff was actually, with all due respect to my sweet friend John Travolta, Jeff was the definitive Danny Zuko. Danny Zuko. The first time I ever saw the show, and that's a whole story. That'll take another hour of Broadway Calling. He was playing the role of Zuko on the road when I first saw the show and got on the phone with my agent the next day and said, get me an audition for this. And then a week later, I got an audition. And a couple of weeks later, Michael Lembeck broke his ankle and they called me back in and I got the gig and went up to, at the time, Detroit to understudy the understudy. And then when I asked Jerry Zaks if he'd play sick for one day so the understudy could take over for Kanicki, he said no. Stage management said no. But then on Saturday morning, May 19th of 1973, they called me in my hotel room, said, "You're going on. Jerry Zaks is sick." And the punch to that story is 4 years to the day later, May 19th of 1977, 44 years ago, just a couple of days ago, I got cast in the film.
Wow.
May 19th of 1989 was the last time my mother saw me perform live on stage before she passed away. And that's when we saw each other, not last, but at one point in 89, I think you might have been in, maybe you were in New York at that time, Lance. Were you in New York in 89?
No, 89, I was in LA because Cats was early 80s. Yeah, so I was already in there.
Getting back to Jeff, but Jeff was playing Zuko. And growing up, Julie, Jeff was my Danny Zuko in my real life. We grew up together. We were kids together.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
And he was kind of a bad boy. He was always like somebody I wanted to be like, but I didn't like him because he was so cool. But then we became very dear and close friends, and worked together then in the movie. And it was a tragedy to see him deteriorate, unfortunately. But we love and we miss him terribly.
Well, it's great that we have him on screen, to celebrate, your childhood, our childhood. And Andrea, did you have your hand up for a question?
I did. I always have these weird things when I watch movies. I always go, what was your favorite scene to do? And did you keep any memento from the movie set?
If you give me a moment, I could grab my jacket, but
Well, okay, while Barry is grabbing his jacket, we are going to see some real cinema history here from Barry Pearl, who was Judy in the film. And I want to check the comments because, again, it's like you guys are putting up the best comments. And what is this? Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. That's your T-Birds jacket.
Epic.
That's amazing.
Now, Julie, can we zoom in so it's just Barry on the screen?
Oh, well, I can take everybody out. I'll take everybody out.
Take everyone out so we can get a close-up.
Hold on.
Barry, so we can get a full. Yeah, that's great. Oh, wow. That is fantastic. That is real.
They're the shoes.
So great. Now, do you ever wear it, or is it just hermetically sealed?
It's hermetically sealed, but I take it to shows, to signing shows, and now you've seen I am fully in my shorts.
Ready for summer.
Well, he should be in his shorts. I'm in my shorts too because it's 90 degrees here in New York City, and I'm loving it. It's summer, Barry,
Yes,
so it's
94
great.
degrees. I heard. Yeah, 94
Yeah.
degrees. You guys were yesterday.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and tell all of your Grease friends and your girlfriend Frenchie Didi Khan in the film. And I know that you guys again still hang out together. And there's this great picture of you and Didi and Olivia and John Travolta together. And I love that you created just sort of a fun movie for everyone to just sort of celebrate. And notwithstanding, we talk about the political correctness of we don't have all types of people represented in that film, but I always say that is one section. It doesn't mean that those of us of color, we can't make a new section. And it's like that's one place, and we can take the second step and the third step and the fourth step. Grease is only the word but not the end. Okay, it's the beginning.
That's
so right. I like to say that. And I wanted to know if because Andrea has kids who are in show business, two of them, one older, one younger. Do you have any advice for young actors who are going in, because you started at such an early age and you're still doing it? It's like you're still doing it. So what is your advice for the kids?
I was you're right. I was very fortunate to have gotten into the business when I did. I was 11 years old. And it literally, like I said, I moved to New York overnight earlier in this podcast. And my mother had me enrolled in professional children's school, which is still in existence. And for that's a school that caters to people that are in the business, as opposed to PA, performing arts,
right?
Which you couldn't work. That was strictly a conservatory-esque sort of situation. But PCS was for kids in the business or whose parents were in the business who traveled. So I finished my education. I graduated from high school. I then went to Carnegie Mellon University. I got my education. I would suggest that when going for a degree, that you get a degree where you also study the arts, history, languages, psychology. I didn't do that at Carnegie. It was a pass-fail system. It was a more, like I say, conservatory. But get a degree. Have your degree. Study your craft privately in professional classes outside of school, dance classes. Well, now it's quadruple threat. So it's dance, sing, act, and play an instrument. Learn to read music. I never did. I kind of suffer for that. At the time, the British invasion, the Beatles, we all played guitar, which I do play guitar. We thought that was but learning the music is a very important thing that we didn't think was so important back then. Take all those classes, get a good rounded education. Go out on auditions, all kinds of auditions, get your feet wet there. Doesn't matter if it's union, non-union, before you get your union card, obviously, and work as much as you can for free, get paid when you can, so that you are trained and well-rounded for those good union paying jobs, and become a union member, get your pension working, get your health insurance, and continue to study, continue to work. Continue to keep your heart open and your mind open. It's not about you. It's never what you think it is. Your personal considerations. And it's what allows people like all of us to dive into a character, because we give up those things that we have personal considerations about, and embrace those things that the playwright says about you, that other characters say, that you say about yourself. And I think I've given you a whole lot in 30 seconds.
That's fantastic, because you also answered the second half. I was going to say, what keeps you going? And you explained it. It's like, and that's what keeps you youthful and full of what we all need to have, the ability to play. You're still playing, at the ripe old age of 42.
Yes.
And
times two.
Not really, folks. You'll have to Google to find out the age. But this has been fantastic, Barry. I mean, and if you guys have enjoyed Barry's stories and our other shenanigans of doing the hand jive and all that kind of stuff, again, I say follow us on the Facebook and and check us out over at youtube.com/Broadway's Calling. We love when we have the likes over there and all that kind of stuff. All of that's very important for the show to continue. And like I said, we're always moving towards moving the show now that, the things have been lifted. No more, not as many masks. I'm still wearing mine, out in public. I don't care. But if you don't want to wear yours, that's fine. I'm gonna wear mine. One, I think it looks cute. So, what does yours say, Barry?
Mine says. We didn't talk about this at all. Mine says 2001 Film Cap. Do you know that I teach film arts to the special needs community all over the country with Joey Travolta's Inclusion Film Company? He's one of John's older brothers. I've been doing that for the last 7 years now. And we actually been doing it on Zoom for the last with an Arkansas camp. But we go all over the country, and it's a very terrific, tremendous, heart-filling experience. Yes, Julie, you were going to say something.
What do they have a website? Is there a way that we can
inclusionfilms.com? Inclusionfilms.com. Joey has 5 brick and mortar schools all up and down the West Coast.
Oh, great. We'll get that up.
Yes, inclusionfilms.com. He actually shepherds people through his schools and out into the community. He had people on John's last 2 films, Poison Rose and another one, I believe. As production assistants, as camera people. I mean, he trains them in sound design, animation, editing, you name it. It's an amazing experience. And we can't wait to get back on the road next year. We couldn't do it this last year, obviously. We can only do it through the internet. But people are just itching. We're going to be going up to Lodi to do 2 weeks at the end of July, beginning of August. They're always 2-week camps. We develop 3 7-minute films and 3 1-minute PSAs or commercials, and then they are exhibited in the fall in these beautiful red carpet events in each of the cities. It's an amazing experience for everybody involved. So that's what this was, summer film camp.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Yeah. Well, I'll have to go into the website, and I hope that you guys will go to inclusionfilms.com and check out some of Barry's work with Joey Travolta, helping these kids. And it's really spectacular.
Thank you.
We are almost headed to our 1-year anniversary, which we've done already 35 episodes. I think this is either the 35th or the 36th. I when I was counting, I could remember. But we've had stars, people know, like from Glenn Close, Wayne Brady, Pee Wee Herman, Lilius White, Jose Lana, Chrissy Altimore, and so many others. And what we've done is they're all on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go binging, throughout the summer while you're laying on the beach, because you can watch it on your phone, please do and enjoy yourself. And hopefully that you'll be inspired by all of those stars and our very, very special guest that we had today, Barry Pearl, which we really, really thank you so much for hanging out with us and teaching us the hand jive.
Thank you.
And thanks, Andrea and Julie, for indulging me in doing the hand jive.
May I say, Lance, I am so proud of you, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
This is a beautiful format that you have here. You have some great friends helping you out. And it just fills my heart to see how you have developed as a performer. And what you are doing here is such a gift to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, our pleasure. It's fun, to relive the stories with the people who actually were there. It's so exciting. It's like there is the internet, but there's nothing better than hearing these stories from the actual people. I mean, it brings everything alive. And I really, really thank you. And all of you out there, we can't do it without you. We love you. We love all of your comments and your energy. It fuels us here on the internet as well as on the live stage. And we look forward to seeing all of you when the theater is back after September 14th in New York. But I know Tuacahn is already open. I think they opened with Beauty and the Beast. So there are already shows to go see. So find a show, stay sane, stay safe. Keep a little Broadway in your life. Now go have a malted milkshake, y'all. Yeah. Peace.